Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today, I would like to present ECO 2023, which are definition and pace of business cycle, type of unemployment, and global economy after pandemic COVID-19. Let's start with definition of business cycle. Business cycle. What is business cycle? Business cycle is known as the economic cycle or trade cycle. A business cycle refers to the regular fluctuation in economic activity in an economy as whole. The term business cycle refers to economy-wide fluctuation in production or economic activity, particularly with regard national income, employment, and output over several months or years. The importance of business cycles: when business owners decide whether to hire or lay off staff or buy new machinery, they need to consider whether business in the area and businesses generally are expanding or contracting. Business cycle fluctuations that are very long or big can lead to much inflation in expansion phases, or enough growth and too much unemployment in the construction phase. There are four phases of business cycle. First, peak. Second, recession. Third, trough. Fourth, a recovery.
Right, now we are going to look at phases of business cycle. So the first phase of business cycle is peak. Peak is also known as prosperity phase, when there is expansion of output, income, employment, prices, and profits. There is also a rise in standard of living. So features in this prosperity period is high level of output and trade, high level of effective demand, high level of income and employment, rising interest rates, and inflation. So due to full employment of resources, the level of production is maximum. So there will be rise in GNP, the gross national product. Due to high level of economic activity, it causes rise in prices and also the profits. There is an upswing in the economic activity and economy reached its peak. So that's why the name of this phase is peak. This is also called a boom period. Okay, the next phase is recession. Recession is a turning point from prosperity to depression. So that's why it is termed as recession phase. During recession, economic activities slow down. Demands also starts falling. The overproduction and future investments are also given up. There is also a steady decline going down in output, income, employment, prices, and also the profits. The businessmen lost confidence and become pessimistic. They become negative. So it reduces investments. So the banks and people try to get greater liquidity. So credit also contracts. Expansions of business will stop. Stock markets will also fall, and orders are cancelled. People start losing their jobs. The increase in unemployment causes a sharp decline in income. The income will go down because there is unemployment, and aggregate demand will also go down. Generally, recession only lasts for a short period.
Phase 3. Trough. Trough is when there is a continuous decrease of output, income, employment, prices, and profits. there is a fall in the standard of living and depression set in. The features of depression are: first, fall in volume of output and trade unemployment. Second, fall in income and rise in unemployment. Third, decline in consumption and demand. Interest rate. Fourth, contraction of bank credit. Fifth, deflation. In depression, there is underutilization of resources and fall in gross national product. The aggregate economic activity is at the lowest, causing a decline in prices and profits until the economy reaches its trough. Phase 4. Recovery. Recovery is the turning point from depression to expansion is termed as recovery or revival phase. During the period of revival or recovery, there are expansions and rise in economic activities. When demand starts rising, production increases, and this causes an increase in investment. There is a steady rise in output, income, employment, prices, and profits. The businessmen gain confidence and become optimistic. This increases investments. The stimulation of investment brings the revival and stock market are activated. There is an increase in employment, production, recovery of the economy. The bank expand credit, business expand take place, income and the aggregate demand, price and profit start rising and business expands. Revival slowly emerges into prosperity and the business cycle is repeated. Thus, we can see that during expansionary, there is inflation and during the contraction or depression phase, there is a deflation.
Okay, my name is Aqilah binti Muhammad Kamal and I want to present about types of unemployment. Before that, I want to tell you about the definition of unemployment. What is unemployment? Unemployment refers to individuals that seeking a job actively but they are unable to find a job. It includes those people who are working but not have an appropriate job. We must know the real meaning of unemployment that always misunderstanding by people are they say unemployment includes people who are waiting to return their work after they being discharged. But it is not include when the individual had left their work and many reasons like to pursue higher education, disability, retirement, and personal issues. Other than that, people who are not active to find any work but still did not have their effort to seeking a job and they did not include as unemployment. So, how to calculate the unemployment rate? Alright, to calculate unemployment rate is the number of unemployed divide total labor force, then multiply 100. There are 5 types of unemployment which includes frictional or known as normal unemployment. Second, structural unemployment, technological unemployment, seasonal unemployment, and cyclical unemployment. So next, I would like to explain about frictional or known as normal unemployment. Frictional unemployment means to those workers who are in among jobs. An example is a worker who just quit from jobs or was fired and is looking for a new job in an economy that is not experiencing a recession. It is not an unhealthy thing, but because It is usually affected by workers trying to find a job that is more suitable to their skills. They need some time to search for a new job that is suitable to need and qualification.
Structural unemployment. Structural unemployment is a longer-lasting form of unemployment caused by fundamental shift in an economy by extraneous factors such as technology and competition. Happen when there is a change in the structure of an economy, where skills of workers differ with skills required at the working place. For example, machines.
Technological unemployment. Technological unemployment is a phenomenon when new inventions change the nature of work, eliminating some specific jobs while also creating new higher paying jobs and launching entire new industries. Unemployment that occurs because advance in machinery render workers redundant. For example, a machine that must produce shoes may cause a cobbler to lose his business. Technological unemployment is the result of disparity between the collective skill of the workforce of an economy, the skills necessary to perform the available jobs. As such, it is a type of structural unemployment, example of technological unemployment, when labor-saving machines are introduced into the productive process. A firm can get rid of workers and produce the same amount of goods than before. Therefore, some workers can lose their job.
Seasonal unemployment. It happens when certain product cannot be produced during a certain season, so many people temporarily unemployed during this season. For example, during monsoon, fishermen will be temporarily unemployed during rainy season.
Next, cyclical unemployment. It is related to the cyclical development in the industry or the business cycle. If an economy is doing good, cyclical unemployment will be at the lowest. Also, will be the highest if the economic growth starts to falter. In addition, during a recession, the rate of cyclical or involuntary unemployment is very high. Is because decline in consumer demand for goods and service. In the other words, there is a decrease in a factor of production. Therefore, a few workers are needed, resulting in jobs discharge. So the number of unemployed workers exceeds the number of job opportunities in the labor market.
Effect of unemployment. First, cost to the families. Family breakup and friends. Joblessness in the family is also examined. The impact of unemployment on families include poverty and hardship, strained relationship, poorer health, although the causal relationships are not always clear, and housing stress. Unemployment could also harm children's development and employment future. Second, loss of revenue to the government. Unemployment negatively impacts the federal government's ability to generate income and also tends to reduce economic activity. When unemployment is high, fewer people are paying taxes to the government. At the same time, unemployment means there are fewer people with disposable income to spend on goods and services. Low consumer spending makes it more difficult for business to thrive and expand, which dampens economic growth.
We're going to look at C, how we think the global economy will be after the COVID-19. COVID-19 coronavirus was declared as a pandemic outbreak by the World Health Organization (WHO) on March 11 and 2020. There is 3 million cases with 200,000 deaths in 213 countries. So this is a serious pandemic. So let's look how it affects the economy. Firstly, the COVID-19 affect the global stock markets. The global financial are very impacted, heavily impacted by the COVID-19. So we can look here, the Nikkei, Shanghai, and Dow Jones already above the 0%, so they are already positive, but the report in the website said that FTSE still under the negative on November 2020. So this shows that how COVID-19 really affect the economy. Okay, so next we can also look that COVID-19 also impact income directly. So firstly, there is negative supply shock. So negative supply shock happen when manufacturing productivity is slowed down and the global supply chain have some disruptions because of the COVID-19 break. So next, there is decrease in income and financial in household incomes. So the consumers will change their spending behavior. They will more aware in spending their monies because in this COVID-19 there will be work absenteeism happen, so that decrease their salary. So work absenteeism happen when some workers are obliged to work from home because they do not want to spread the COVID more, and some of them, even worse, they are fired for people to follow the standard operation procedure SOP. So those who are fired created unemployment. From the graph, we can see that unemployment rate around the world, not all countries, have increased. So we can see the red dots is 2020 and the blue dots is 2021. So yeah, we can see the unemployment increased by percent because of the COVID-19.
COVID-19 also affect the service industries where they get suffer loss in year 2019, 2020 and 2021. For example, airlines. The airlines has cancelled all overseas flights for Malaysians and also closed the country's entrance to tourists during COVID-19 so that the company's profit will be decreased. The second one, hospitalities, where hotels booking was cancelled, shopping are only at home using online platforms, no dine-in at restaurant, just takeaway, bars cannot operate, so that quantity of customer will be decreased and also their profit. The third one, transportation. When you use public transport, you must follow their standard operating procedure that provide you, which is social distancing in 1 meter per person, so that the public transportation just only can take limited passenger at the one time. The illustration show you the total daily commercial flights with 7-day average. Based on illustration, we show that the number of shoppers in the country decreased when COVID-19 outbreaks, such as United States, China, Japan, and the other countries. The second one, The global tourism industry also affected by COVID-19 outbreaks. As we can see at the left side on the graph, the most of the rates are below 0%. COVID-19 also affect two pharmaceutical companies' rises, which are government can produce and manage COVID-19 vaccine. The second one, governments go around the world to invest for vaccines. The third one, the companies will gain more revenues in 2021. For examples of COVID-19 vaccine is Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Moderna, and Novavax. The illustration has shown you the percentage change in share value of the rise of pharmaceutical companies in the year 2019 to 2021. How do we think the global economy after COVID-19 will be? First, health and medicine or pharmaceuticals areas will rise more. Second, governments of all countries will be more prepared to adapt unexpected outbreaks, so government can provide vaccine to all Malaysians. Third, flexibility of employees working from home and at the office will be a new norm and new thing for people. For people, we prefer to do online shopping for essential and food, so that this gives more benefit to people. And last one, people be more aware of their spending of expenses and tend to save their money for emergency, especially to buy necessities such as food and medicines.
Thank you for lending your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Bye.